Support for this program is provided by the Women's Hospital, providing a complete range of healthcare services to women and infants. More information available at deaconess.com/the Women's Hospital. Toyota Indiana, Pump It Up Evansville, and Gigi's Cupcakes.
Thank you. So thank you so much for coming, seriously. And everybody got to know each other, right? Introduced each other. Marco has no idea why he's here. It's okay. It's gonna be fine, I promise. We're gonna have you do downward dog here tonight. No, okay. Naked. Okay. When was the last time that you looked at your partner and you saw them? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I talked to my husband, but I'm doing this or I'm doing that, or I'm on my phone, or I'm Facebooking, or I'm jacking with my kids, or whatever. You know, it's like, I don't know when, you know, I probably do, but it just really got me, right? It really just kind of made me take a deep breath. And then so we really wanted to focus on communication, connection, and intimacy, because that is so important in relationships, and that's what we really are focusing on today. So the reason that you're here is I told you a little bit that we're going to be doing non-verbal communication exercises. So I'm really excited, and we're going to do 2 exercises. So what we're going to start with is the trust walk. And this exercise is to build or gain trust with your partner and yourself. This has been done with people that they know and with also strangers, and you get a totally different experience. But I thought I would really love to do this with my husband, so I wanted to, you know, reach out and see who would want to do it with their partner. So safety is important, obviously, but you will be blindfolded, and there will be Really? She goes, yay! Okay. There will be absolutely no talking. And by when I mean no talking, no sounds. This is a non-verbal communication. So what I'm going to have you all do is get up and join me, please. Okay. I'll have you guys here at the end. You guys here in the middle. Marco and Jen, front here. And just line up for me, please. Okay, and Abby's going to give you a blindfold. Just go side by side. 1, 2. We're going to go out the front door. Okay. However you want to go. Go side by side first.
Okay.
Okay.
Being honest, I cannot see it.
Man, all this hair.
Can you see?
No,
Can you see out your nose?
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Oh my gosh, Ryder. I was like, that is not it.
Can you see?
How's that, babe?
Okay.
No, I couldn't. It's really a big one on me, though.
Please remain silent and do not let go of your partner ever. So you just have to figure out how you're going to guide your partner, but always, always be touching them. Go ahead and connect and follow me.
You know, this could have gone either way, actually. This could have gone, you know. For me, thank God, it was like a complete surrender almost to the process and trusting that my partner was going to keep me safe and take me where I needed to go. And that surrender piece is not an easy thing for me. So I enjoyed it. Thanks for getting me through those rough patches there.
Take off your blindfolds and hand them to your partner.
At first I tried to focus, but of course you can't see anything. And I realized I wasn't paying attention to him as much as I was paying attention to the back of my blindfold. So then I just closed my eyes, and it was just kind of like walking through a dream. You don't know your footing, you don't know where you're going, but you know you're okay.
My initial thought for both of us was safety. I think it's just the role I play in our marriage. I know she has a bad knee, and so I was concerned about that the whole time. I felt myself almost picking her up and carrying her because I didn't want her to hurt her knee. At the same time, on the other hand, when she had to take control of me, that was really hard for me to do. That's not something that I'm used to kind of letting her take the lead on. Outside of the house and the kids, I don't really allow her to take the lead on many things. So that was one of the hardest things that I've ever done. No, that was rough.
This was a good exercise for us to not be able to talk, and so we had to communicate. So I felt very connected, and I'm glad that you wanted to be blindfolded first so I could, you know, show you that you could trust me and that we could get through this. We had our own little system down.
Was it harder to be led or to lead?
For me, it was harder to lead because I know how particular there are. Like, for instance, he's much taller than me. I completely forgot about the branches above, and like a couple of them like smacked him in the face. So it was really hard for me to like lead because it wasn't something that I was more nervous about that.
She developed the kind of signals, you know, with the way that she guided me, and I figured it out quickly. I mean, I think we think a lot alike. So as she was guiding me through this, I was like, oh, okay, you know, I'm figuring out when I'm going to be stepping up. I'm figuring out when I'm going to be stepping down. I'm figuring out when the surface is going to be a little bit different, just by the way that she was using her hands to squeeze, to, you know, hurry up, you know, oh, we must be in the middle of a road, you know, and it was all, I don't know, it was really cool. It was neat because I like the way she thinks anyway.
And I was more concerned about making sure I guided you safely. Safety's a big thing for me. I guided you safely so you can trust me, and then I wasn't worried at all whenever I had the blindfold on. I felt very secure, and that's huge.
That is huge. That's huge. I think in our relationship, I'm more the, oh, whatever, let's just whatever. And so I was a little more, I was fine with you leading me. I knew you would take care of me. I didn't have any fear at all. I was more concerned about leading you because I know that sometimes I'm a little more, I don't like to use the word reckless, but that's the word that comes to mind at the moment. And, I thought this is going to be big for her to have to put this blindfold on and literally let me, but I loved the calmness. And to your point, I think the thing that for me was most significant was two things. One is the silence, because we don't get that a lot. And the second thing was, I noticed that we stayed on equal ground the entire way, except one time I did put you in front of me to help through the obstacle. But that equalness and that partnership, that was awesome. Was that cool?
Yes, we are. I'm very inside this, vastly bigger than her, and I'm always concerned. Like, I'm the protector. I take care. Take care of our family and everything. And I felt like I gave everything up. Our roles were completely reversed in our marriage, and that is terrifying for me right now. Absolutely terrifying.
I complete stranger, and of course I wanted to lead first. Imagine that, right? Because I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm controlling. I just wanted to lead, and I loved it, and it was so fun. I was like, this is great. And then when I was blindfolded, it was a struggle for me to let that person have control. And then once I surrendered 100%, I had a blast. And I trusted her, but it took us some time, and I enjoyed it because it's like I'm so controlling that I had the opportunity to let that control go, and it was so freeing. And I almost felt like an affection for this woman that I didn't even know. It was like it was weird, and that's why I thought.
For me, I felt it would come and go. Like, we'd be walking along, and she's got a real good grasp on me, and the usual where I just surrendered to her and felt she's got this. And then the moment a branch would hit me in the face, or I would step in a hole or feel some gravel, I would tighten back up and be like, oh man, something bad is going to happen. So it was like just back and forth and back and forth. I would say there was more of, if I'm being perfectly honest, more of me being worried something was going to happen. But the moments that we were just walking and she was holding me, we have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and that silence, like just as you said, that silence and just her taking the lead, me not having to do anything, and me just relaxing, we never get that.
I'm used to you kind of taking the lead, so I wasn't really worried that I was gonna trip or fall. Like I said, he was trying to physically pick me up. I think if he could have carried me the whole way, he probably would have. But I just noticed things like the temperature change or the coolness of the grass. Like, I was able to enjoy kind of some of those things as I was walking.
And I'm glad you spoke to that, because upon surrendering, and I had to do it several times, you take the control back and then surrender again. And whenever I was leading her, I noticed that you took us through some really interesting obstacles. And so I had to I could just imagine, okay, that's going to come when it's my turn too, and then I'm just going to have to surrender, let go. And then I could probably name what everybody was grilling on their grill. And then, I could smell some of the aromas. I smelled it smells, it kind of smells like, in an older town or something, or I'm imagining it. My senses were very alert and amplified. And so I think that's kind of what we could probably anticipate, if we were to surrender more often, be more in tune with what else is going on other than, the immediate thing within me.
It's kind of strange. I kind of feel that way a lot anyway. like letting go and surrendering to him, other than like physically housework. For some reason, housework is like the strange zen for me. So when he wants to take it over because I'm tired and I don't want to do it, but still it's my happy place, that's like my one big control hold. So there was no housework out there. I had no issue. Whatever, you know, I felt like I was on a magic carpet a little bit. When I was leading him, it's kind of strange. I was more aware of my surroundings actually than I was when I was just feeling them. You know, and I would see an obstacle and I would just kind of think, okay, how would I go across that? But it wasn't even like a cognitive process. It was just sort of like, what are my feet doing? Okay, his should do that too. You know, I don't really know how to explain it, but it was all just really natural, and, you know, it's kind of our everyday, really. We just, I don't know, we kind of just share the same space, I think.
Okay, our next exercise, we're gonna start with checking in with ourselves. We are gonna start by being aware of our present feeling. So what I'm gonna have you do is start this, and you're going to answer this with an emotion. So, Amy, I am present to the feeling of.
I'm present to the feeling of peace.
I'm present to the feeling of love.
I'm present to the feeling of joy.
I'm present to the feeling of anticipation.
I'm present to the feeling of anxiety.
I'm present to the feeling of happiness.
I'm present to the feeling of excited. This is called be with. It helps trigger connections that we may have lost with ourselves and others. It can also be an exercise in being vulnerable and being seen, which is what Project Reveal is all about. So when you look at someone and when you look at your partner, how often are you with them? So from now moving forward, this is silent. And just be on either side of your partner, please. Stand comfortably where you can look into each other's eyes a little more than toe to toe. Put your hands by your sides. No touching, no consoling. Move to your right. This line right here. So Leanne, come down here. I'm gonna go there. And for 3 minutes, look into each other's eyes.
You know, when I looked in your eyes, the only thing I kept thinking was, oh, she's got the most beautiful brown eyes, and I could see like this little girl in you. I just was like, oh, I was like, she's precious. And when I looked in your eyes, it's interesting that you said joy, because I immediately I was like, oh my God, she's sharing her joy without even, you know, talking.
The eyes are the window to the soul, you know, but nobody really pays attention to it. Maybe with your partner, but certainly not with strangers. But wow, what an open book people can really become just by seeing them. It's kind of like reading a paper about who they are.
Her eyes were kind of shifting around a lot, and I was like, man, am I, you know, okay, I want to do this right, so I'm going to keep looking in her eyes, you know, as best I can. And then I found myself really trying, every time that she would bring her gaze back to my eyes. I mean, she didn't look away like this, but it was, you know, my mouth, my forehead,
your whole face.
my whole face. And I just noticed myself just in my head trying to make her feel like, you know, through my eyes say, hey, it's cool, it's all good, like, we're good here. You know, you were, and I don't know if you felt safe or not, but
I'm one of those that eye contact is really hard for me. Like Marco mentions it often, when I look at somebody, I look at their whole face, so I'm looking at their whole expression and all the features that go into that. So a lot of that goes into it.
You know, you meet people in passing to say, hey, how you doing? It's kind of like when you sit down at like an airport or something, you start talking to someone, it takes like 15, 20 minutes where you really get to know who they are. Like I thought when you and I started looking at each other, a part of me was a little envious. I thought she is so happy. And like, I was like, why can't I be that happy? That is like, it was just bubbling out of her face.
You somehow, that has to be some sort of gift to where you can make someone else happy by not saying a word to them.
I was always teased that I make people my friends against their will. And it's not intentional, it comes out, I don't know.
And then I immediately, probably in 15, 20 seconds, I was like, I can have a beer with her. I was like, I saw myself in you.
Well, we were telling jokes, and then I kind of felt a little bit of awkwardness at the beginning, and it could have been all me, I apologize, but you just seemed very, very safe. You just seemed like it was, very solid. When I was looking in your eyes, I thought we were just having sex. Is that bad?
I think it's great.
When I saw you bite your lip, I was like, damn, they are doing it over there. I saw you bite your lip.
When I first met Leanne, one of the things that immediately caught my attention were her blue eyes. And I've told her almost, if not, well, I probably tell you more, at least once a week, that your eyes are my peace. Your eyes have always been the only thing that stopped me because I don't stop. And so those 3 minutes where I actually stopped and just connected with you. And that's hard for me. That eye contact thing is tough for me.
And then with Jennifer, I thought, I don't remember the last time that I looked at her for that longer period of time without a 6-year-old or a 2-year-old or either her picking on me or me picking on her, to just look at each other. And I think we had a half an hour conversation just in that 3 minutes.
Of course, our lives are so intimate and so intertwined. Like, we know everything about what's going on with each other and toward each other, and it was just like, we've mentioned health issues and everything, so I was just like, everything's gonna be okay, and we're good, and we're happy, and we're healthy enough, and we're gonna keep getting more healthy, But here we are standing, for 9 minutes staring into strangers' eyes and each other's eyes, so it's all good.
Gosh, I'm present to the feeling of being humbled, I guess.
I'm present to the feeling of just happiness.
I'm present to the feeling of happiness also.
I guess I'm present to the feeling of joy. Yeah.
I'm present to the feeling of post-orgasm.
Relaxation.
You need a cigarette?
I would if I still smoked. No, I'm present to the feeling of connection.
Me too.
Just talk about how you're feeling towards your partner, and if you've ever felt this way, or if there's new feelings, or because there's an intimacy there between you all right now. Have you ever? Is this new? Is this different?
I think the intimacy is something that I don't know if it's a feeling as a woman or just for for me in a relationship, I always like try to have that communication, whereas men are like, what's the details? What time do I need to be there? You know, that short like list of things. Whereas I'm more like, I want to tell you exactly how I felt, and I felt like I got that without having to talk about it.
And it's like we went on a date. That makes sense?
Yeah.
We were able to go on a date. Babysitter had the kids. Neither one of us checked our phones for the whole date.
Mine's not even on me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's what it feels like right now.
I think that we've had a really, really romantic and intimate relationship, like since we fell in love.
Yeah. We're kind of on a perpetual date. From the beginning, we thought we were getting into a relationship with healthy people, and then found out that we had illnesses that we didn't know we had. And, you know, I have 3 stepchildren that, unless I qualify it that way, that's not how they are to me. They're my kids. But the grounding, the thing that always brought us back was forehead to forehead, just staring at each other. That's the happy place, you know, that gets us back together. So when he was, when he was hospitalized for his brain tumor, I had to take it all on. And there were a couple of days there that were very scary. So when he came home to me, it's been his goal in life to basically, all hours of the day, no matter where I am, to know his forehead's against mine, you know? So I think, again, we're kind of on that perpetual date, that forever honeymoon, because we're just so damn grateful to have one another. So damn grateful that we got through it.
You know, I don't think I stop and tell you enough how grateful I am for your steady, for your the balance that you bring to my life. And I love our journey. I love our journey. I know sometimes it's frustrating for you because I can't always stay in the moment, and I know that's where you need me. And I sometimes like it when you make me look in your eyes, you know, even when I don't want to. I'm like, I don't really want to look in your eyes because that's going to make me all like soft and, and I'm going to have to like, but I'm so grateful for that. You're here, love you.
And now we do just. I'm Jennifer, and this is DeMarco, and we've been together for 7 years.
I'm Leanne, this is Amy, we've been together for 5.
I'm Meg, this is Heath, and we've been together for 5.
Support for this program is provided by the Women's Hospital, providing a complete range of healthcare services to women and infants. More information available at deaconess.com/the Women's Hospital.
Toyota Indiana, Pump It Up Evansville, and Gigi's Cupcakes.